Hey everybody, this is Freedom is the Right coming to you with a brand new video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at War for Cybertron Kingdom Voyager class Cyclonus. Now this guy is an incredible figure. He's really well done, and I definitely have to say hands down this is probably the strongest Voyager in the entire War for Cybertron trilogy so far. Now he has really great engineering, and overall this guy is just really big. He's the biggest Voyager that I have in my collection. So without further ado, let's get into it. So coming in here we can take a look at Cyclonus' really awesome alternate mode, and I've always really liked this design. It looks really cool. Coming in here we can see there's nice silver paint on the side, also some dark purple as well, a nice gray piece for the nose cone here, and also some sculpted detailing along the cone as well. The cockpit is done with a nice orange transparent plastic here, more sculpted detailing all along here in the back, which looks really nice. Coming back here you can see we have the thrusters all along this, and everything does clean up really nicely. The feet fold in. It's a really nice piece of engineering you'll see during transformation. There's some nice purple paint to kind of accent him on the wings here. Taking a look at the underside, as I said, he compacts up really nicely. The engineering on this guy is really cool. There's some really great tricks that I'm excited to show you. And also there is some landing gear, so you can flip that out if you'd like. So there you have that. And also we can bring in his weapon. This is a really nice piece. It's sculpted really well. It's done in purple plastic and painted in silver. And we can of course store this on his vehicle mode. Coming in you can see there is a port here, and we're just going to plug this into the top like that. So there you have storage if you need that. So we can go ahead and take this off and set it to the side, and we're going to get down to some transformation. So coming in here, the first thing we're going to want to do is fold up the landing gear. And next we're going to want to go ahead and come here to the side, and this part is kind of the one thing that gives me trouble. This connection that tabs in here is really tight, so it's kind of hard to get off sometimes. That came off fairly easy this time, but yeah. So there is the tab here, and the port goes right in there. So we're going to come along to this side and do the same. Pull that off, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hinge these sections up just like so, and then we can go ahead and rotate these pieces around to get them out of the way for now. And now we can come here and just untab that. You can see there's another port and some tabs, and we're going to go ahead and take the legs and pull them apart, and then you can just extend them down like that, and do the same on the other side. Just extend these down. And now coming down to the feet, we are going to take this and open it up, and the feet will flip down. And then we can go ahead and take this piece, collapse that up, shut that, and there we have the feet. And I really do love that trick. It's a neat trick. And we're going to repeat the same on the other side. Fold it up, collapse that down, and there we have the feet done for Cyclonus. So now we can turn back here, and we're going to take this piece and rotate it up like that. And now we're going to get to transforming the nose cone, which is probably the coolest part of the engineering, I think. So we can go ahead and disconnect this and pull it down, and then we're also going to pull the chest forward and pull that down. So now the next part, we're going to come to this nose cone. We're going to open up this compartment, flip this down inside, and close that back up. Now the next thing we're going to want to do is come here and just open that up, and this is going to accordion down inside and snap back together. So now we can go ahead and rotate this whole piece, this whole assembly, and close up the chest, close up his back, and now there we have his head out. And so now we're getting towards the end of the transformation. We're going to take these pieces, hinge them forward, and there is a port and a tab. You're going to tab these in nice and securely and repeat the same process on the other side. Tab that in. So now we're going to deal with the arms and the hands. So we're going to start by untabbing this section here, and we're going to want to fold this piece in. And now this is going to just hinge back and sit against his arm like that. Now we can do the same part on the other side. Just hinge this back until it sits flush against the arm. Collapse this up. And now we can move to the last bit of transformation, the hands. So we're just going to want to rotate this at the bicep, open up this, and flip the hands around, and close that right back up. And now do the same for the other side. Rotate at the bicep, flip out these hands, and close that back up. And that's it for transformation. Now we have Cyclonus transformed up into his really stellar looking robot mode. I really do love this. The one thing maybe I would have liked to seen done differently is the coloration. It's a little bit light. I don't mind this color of purple, but it would have been cool to see a more screen accurate color scheme. And I'm sure at some point this mold will be reused and done in a more tune accurate color, but it's still nice for now. So coming in, we can take a look at the head sculpt, and this head sculpt is really nicely done, I think. It's painted up in silver, got some purple paint along the little bunny ears here, some nice sculpt work on the head, and coming to the back, you can see it looks really nice. There's light piping on this guy, so as you can see, his eyes glow pretty nicely when the sunlight gets in them. And also, I do want to point out how clean this transformation is. There is no backpack at all. It's completely flat. And that's just really incredible engineering. And especially for how big he is, because he's the tallest Voyager that I own. So I'm surprised they were able to put so much engineering into a figure that was so large for the price point it's in. But it's a happy surprise. And coming to the chest, we can see there's the nice Decepticon logo. We got some nice transparent orange plastic here on his chest, some nice silver accent along there, some sculpted detail all along, some silver on the legs, this nice purple, some dark purple down here on the feet. And it is a little odd, the plastic for the arms here is definitely different than the plastic up here. I'm not really sure why. It doesn't look so bad in hand. You can kind of see it more clearly on the camera, but everything blends really well in person. And so now we can turn to some articulation. The head can rotate side to side, can turn it a full 360. He can look down and he can look up. There's a little hinge that the neck is on, so the neck can move like that, which gives another added great range of motion. Also coming to the biceps, or the shoulder joint I should say, you can rotate a full 360, can hinge out. And another cool thing is with the hinge here, the way it's designed, it doesn't leave any really hollow gaps. It looks very realistic. And also we have some bicep rotation, and we do get about 90 degrees, a little over 90 degrees actually, of bend there at the elbow. And we can rotate the wrists, which is nice. And coming down here, we do have waist rotation, moves really nicely. There is thigh rotation down here. And you can bend the knees. It doesn't go very far unless you're pulling it out. And this is one thing that kind of is slightly unsightly. There's a big hollow gap in here. So sometimes when you're posing them out, the knees, you can kind of see down in here. That's kind of the one sort of eyesore on this guy. And honestly, it's not really a big deal. You don't see it very often. So yeah, he's really nice. And also, I did want to talk about, there is, of course, the ankle rocker joints. And the toes do move up a little bit. So next thing we can do is we can go ahead and bring in his weapon again. And we can go ahead and give that to him. It just ports right in to his hand. And now he is armed up and ready for battle. So now we're going to come in with some size comparisons here for him. So first up, I'm going to bring in War for Cybertron Earthrise Voyager class Megatron. And as you can see, these are both Voyager class figures, but Cyclonus is definitely taller and definitely looks a little cleaner in how he transforms. And next I'm going to bring in War for Cybertron Earthrise Soundwave, also a Voyager class. And as you can see, he towers over Soundwave. These guys look nice together though. And next I'm going to bring in another Voyager. This is Voyager class Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. And he's really tall compared to Hot Rod, of course. And Hot Rod is more closer to a deluxe class size, even though he was in a Voyager price point. But of course he had all the extra engineering and accessories. Although honestly, I think that the engineering on these two is not that far off from each other. I think Cyclonus' engineering is just as well done as Hot Rod's. So there's that. And finally, I'm going to bring in Studio Series 86 Leader Class Grimlock. Now, Grimlock, of course, towers over Cyclonus, as he should. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for War for Cybertron Kingdom Cyclonus. Like I said in the beginning, a really fantastic figure. The engineering is so on point. Articulation is great, of course. The size is really nice to see. He's got the great light piping, which I really love. He cleans up really nicely. The transformation is really clean. Both robot mode and vehicle mode look very accurate to the screen model, despite maybe the coloration. And overall, I think this guy just knocked it out of the park. He's probably the strongest War for Cybertron figure I've seen, almost period, out of all of them. And I think I would have to give this guy a solid 9.5 out of 10. So let me know down below if you agree, if you don't, and until next time, I will see you all later.